दिगम भाई मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि ये ऐसे फेज आने ही चाहिए बिजनेस में। अगर आप बुरे फेज नहीं देखते हैं तो आप इम्प्रूव नहीं कर पाते। आपको ऐसा लगता है आप सब कुछ सही कर रहे हैं, आप सब कुछ बढ़िया कर रहे हैं। सो नॉट ओनली इन माय करियर ऑफ 12-13 years बट एज अ कंपनीज करियर हम लोगों ने बहुत सारे अप्स एंड डाउन्स देखे हैं।
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू ग्रीन पोर्टफोलियो। आज ग्रीन पोर्टफोलियो एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण और बहुत ही फन इनिशिएटिव लेने जा रहा है। हम इस इनिशिएटिव का नाम ग्रीन शार्क्स रख रहे हैं। इस इनिशिएटिव में हम लिस्टेड कंपनीज के प्रमोटर्स और उनके सीएक्सओज के साथ इंटरेक्शन करने वाले हैं। वो लिस्टेड कंपनीज हमारे पोर्टफोलियो कंपनीज भी हो सकती हैं और हमारे पोर्टफोलियो के बाहर की भी कंपनीज हो सकती हैं। इस इनिशिएटिव में आप जानेंगे आपकी कंपनीज के प्रमोटर्स के बारे में, उनके बिजनेसेस के बारे में, उनके फ्यूचर प्लान्स के बारे में। आप बिहाइंड द सीन जानेंगे कि प्रमोटर अपनी इतनी बड़े सेटअप को रन करने में क्या क्या इनिशिएटिव्स लेता है। और नो डाउट्स आप अपनी जो पोर्टफोलियो कंपनीज हैं उनके बारे में भी जानेंगे। तो स्टे ट्यून्ड। इस ग्रीन शार्क्स इनिशिएटिव में बड़े ही इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशंस होने वाले हैं। हमारी पहली वीडियो में हम मेघमनी ऑर्गेनिक्स के प्रमोटर और सीएफओ के साथ इंटरेक्ट करने वाले हैं। तो आइए देखते हैं पहले इस इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन में क्या क्या बातें हुई।
So, Ankit and Chal, thank you for being here. Okay.
थैंक यू श्रीराम जी, थैंक यू दिगम जी।
Yes. Okay. Straight away, I want to get to a very basic question. Now, I want to invest in a company. Now, to a new investor, as layman person as I am, how would you explain your business, your company, and why should I invest in your company?
Sure. So, Sriramji, before giving your answer, I'll just give you the brief idea about the company. The company was started way back in 1986 by the first generation member of the family, my father, my uncles. And they are technocrat people after their technical education. They were doing some small job in different companies, and one fine day they want to be the entrepreneur and they started the business. The first business was the phthalocyanine-based pigment. We were among the first Indian company to start the phthalocyanine-based green pigment in India, and it was a successful journey. Company grew very well with that business, and somewhere after 10 years, we thought of creating one more vertical, and that's how in mid 90s company entered into agrochemical division as well. And so nearly after you can say we are not still 40 years old but about 35 years plus old company, and in this 35 years old both the division have grown very well. Both put together we have grown tremendously, and now the second generation members are in charge of the day-to-day business. That's where I came into the business. I entered the business in 2009. And so I'm very thankful to our first generation members, my fathers, my uncle, my father and my uncles, that they have provided very good platform to us and very good infrastructure. So with this strong fundamental base, we are taking the company to the next level. Now, whatever they have created in 25 to 35 years, we want to double it every 3 to 5 years on and on. And that's what we have been doing. And last 5 years, you can see the kind of the growth we have been doing in agrochemical division. And the pigment division is a little bit slow, but now we are coming with the titanium dioxide. So that's also going to be the fantastic journey in the coming days' time. So both the division put together in next 3 years or 5 years is going to be generating tremendous growth potential as far as the Meghmani Organics is concerned. And so you mentioned why someone should invest in Meghmani Organics. So as I mentioned, we are into agrochemicals business. So why agrochemical? You know, typically there is a negative word, pesticide. People don't like the pesticide word, but ultimately it's a very essential chemical because every year, every day, population in the global market, every country population is increasing. Arable land is decreasing. So you need to feed more and more people. every day with the less amount of arable land. So you need to have a better technology, better food yield for farm area. So for that, you need a good seeds, good fertilizer, and good agrochemicals, which will eventually increase the food productivity, and we will be able to serve, feed many more people. So we are in the food chain business market, we can say that. And agrochemical per se, India consumption pattern is very, very low, which is known to everyone. We are using just zero point 0.6 kg per acre compared to global average of about 2.5 to 3 kg. And in many countries, the average goes to 7 kg, 10 kg, something like that. There's a huge potential, and not only in the Indian market, but even in the global market as well.
Yes.
And so that is where we are. Same way in the pigment business, pigments are the colors. We need a colorful world. The application point of view, our pigments are used into printing ink, plastic master batches, and the paint. Now, typically one segment, printing ink segment, because of the digitalization is slowly not growing very well. But at the same time, the packaging ink segment is growing very well because the global packaging demand is increasing. On the other hand, the plastic consumption, still we discuss about recycling and everything. Still, every day the plastic consumption is increasing, and our products, colors are also used into plastic master batches. Same with the paint segment is growing in a double digit in India. Big corporates like Grasim, GSW, JK, these groups are entering into this area where the paint segment in India is growing at about double digit, nearly 12 to 15% growth rate is coming. So this is about the pigment segment. As far as the revenue is concerned, about 25% of the revenue for the company currently is coming from pigment division, and about 75% of the revenue is coming from the agrochemical division. Both the divisions are exporting very well to different countries, different continents. In fact, we are exporting to more than 75 countries globally in different continents. So, and to wide range of customers. So it's very much scattered. So sometimes, we understand there is a global recession in some country, there is a drought in some country, there is a flood in some country. So the demand supply keeps on varying. Now, we being into manufacturing, we need to make sure our plants run throughout the year. Now, if we don't have enough market, then we will not be able to produce throughout the year, and we will not be able to sell throughout the year. So here is the differentiation. Because of our wide geographical presence and wide customer base, we are able to run the plant continuously throughout the year, and we can cater to different customers into different markets. So, and this is a fantastic platform we have created with the wide customer base globally in different markets, and we are leveraging this strength. So every now and then we are adding new product. Now we are coming with the titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is nothing but a white pigment. Now the major application is into the paint. So normally when you see the paint, it is always a white color. Then depending on your shade requirement, you add a different tones into it and make a different shade out of it. As far as the titanium dioxide market is concerned, it has got a wide application, but the majority of the product goes into the paint market. So I would say almost 75% plus quantity is being used into the paint segment. And so here we already have the ready customer base, we already have the market. So we are just adding one more product into our basket and catering to our customer base. Same way into agrochemicals, we are doing exports, selling to various countries and various customers. So with the 350 crore plus capex of multi-purpose plant, we are coming with a very new generation, very good products. These are high value, better margin products, and which are completely different, I would say, than our existing product range. So our customers are very excited. We have developed all this product in-house in our own R&D with the backward integration. So we don't buy the intermediates from China. We are backward integrated and we generate the data because agrochemical is a regulated market. So we need to generate the data. So we have our own GLP lab where we generate toxicity data, physical chemical properties data, fire ash data. And with this data, we then register our product into different markets. So it's a long journey. So if someone thinks that I want to make this product and sell this product, then from the concept to the sales, it takes nearly 4 to 5 years time.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
so this is what we have done with our fundamental strong base. We have been developing these products in our lab. We have been manufacturing with our own technology, and with the data generation, we are doing registration into various markets. So let's say if someone thinks that Meghmani has come up with one product and I also want to make this product, then for them to make it and sell it, it will take at least 4 years time. It is not that easy. So that is what the differentiation is. At the same time, we are fully backward integrated. So we are exporting to 75 plus countries. So our global customers today, everyone is knowing that the whole world is looking at China plus one. They want to have a second source. Now, saying is very easy, but this customers, they don't just see that I'm supplying product X. I have to be backward integrated for that particular product. If I am buying the intermediate or some raw material for that particular product from China, then my customer will not like it. Maybe from the opportunity point of view, he may buy 1 or 2 times, but not from the long-term perspective. So that is what differentiates Meghmani. We invest heavily into backward integration and infrastructure creation, and that is why our customers get connected with us long term perspective. And now we are also coming with a new vertical, which is also aligned to the agrochemical division. So as I mentioned, the crop nutrition for the crops is also very fundamentally important product, and it is a much more bigger market than the agrochemical. We are not entering into the conventional fertilizer like urea, NPK, DAP. We are coming into specialized fertilizer, new technology fertilizer. So recently we have tied up with IFCO. IFCO has come up with a nano urea, which is a patented product by IFCO. We know all IFCO is one of the giant fertilizer company based out in India, and we have under license. We are going to manufacture this product, and there is a complete freedom for us. We can sell this product in our own brand in India as well as anywhere else in the world. So with this one product, because for us, the customer base in India or in the export remains the same. The agrochemical customers are also the customers for the crop nutrition. They also need this kind of new products. So we have the ready base available with us. And nano urea is just the one product we are coming up with, but we already have a plan to introduce the range of the crop nutrition product and make this vertical relatively big in going days further. So it's going to be a fantastic journey in coming years, and the fundamental base is already, and we are very hopeful. In fact, we are very sure that the kind of the growth journey what we have decided, we are 100% going to achieve.
Yes.
Sir, so first of all, thank you so much for sharing this introduction. It's actually, in fact, we are also tracking China plus one very closely, and the opportunity that is coming out, and that backward integration and seizing that opportunity. वो मुझे लगता है कि that is a very big thing. And but how did this journey start? You said that you are second generation into this business. So ये कैसे आपके father साहब ने start किया, and how has this journey evolved over time? And how did you end up into agrochemicals and paints as a business?
Just wanted to add one thing, Divam. You should realize that there was no VC funding and these private equity kind of plays back then. Of course, it was there, but the liquidity wasn't that, that omnipresent. So how did they do it from 1986 and got it until here? Yes.
Yeah, so initially in 1986, when they were having this plan, so they got some funding from few relatives as well as from the bank, SBI, they got the loan. And with the small funding, they started a small company, manufacturing unit in Vatwa, which is an industrial area in Ahmedabad. And it was doing good. And as I mentioned, we were among the first Indian company to manufacture copper phthalocyanine-based pigment apart from the multinational companies. So in fact, from initial days only, we were not only targeting Indian market. We started marketing our product. My father and my uncle, they started marketing this product into exports market. And then the whole world, the global market, people understood there is some small Indian company who has got capability of supplying this product at a right quality and at a right price. And the market kept on growing and that gave them the boost, that confidence.
Mhm.
So they tried very hard initially from the manufacturing point of view, from the sales point of view. That's a fantastic journey. But all of them were from the technical background, chemical engineers, masters of science, and everything. And they were doing job. If I talk about my father was doing job at that time, one of the multinational company called Surat Gaigi in Vadodara.
Nice.
And so because he got experience of working into plant products, so that was the knowledge he gathered. And because of the science background, they were always thinking something different, that what new we should be doing. That is, I would say their fire in the belly at that time was something tremendous. They kept on traveling, meeting a lot of people, what is new happening in the market, what new product we should bring into the company from the growth point of view. So they kept on, whatever they earned, they kept on investing again and again in the company. And from one plant, today we have got such a strong manufacturing fundamental base because they kept on investing again and again. And
एंड सर आपने मतलब नो डाउट्स आपने आपकी पूरी फैमिली ने बहुत बड़ा वेल्थ क्रिएशन शेयर होल्डर्स के लिए भी किया ओवर द इयर्स एंड दैट इज वेरी मच विजिबल सो यू सेड दैट आप 2009 में आए इस बिजनेस में तो
yes.
आपके लिए कैसी जर्नी रही मतलब हाउ व्हाट मतलब यू गॉट सम लेगेसी एंड आपने उसके ऊपर कैसे बिल्ड किया एंड व्हाट वर द चैलेंजेस इनिशियली फॉर यू एंड हाउ डिड यू टेक देम अप those challenges?
So I'm very lucky that our parents, they provided good educations to everyone in the second generation. Again, in the second generation, we are all technocrat. I have done chemical engineering, then I did masters, and then MBA. So we all got good education because of our parents. We are lucky enough. And then after that, I joined the business. So it was not that the moment we joined the business from the first day, we were given a cabin or like a big responsibility, like a directorship or something. We all started from the floor, from the manufacturing base, from the sales, different departments learning. So it was a good journey. So initially 2-3 years, it was kind of a learning and understanding about the business, products, markets, everything. And then the confidence came into us as well. And then we thought that now we have got such a strong fundamental base. So how to leverage it? So our parents have brought the company to this level. So how do we take it to the next level? So we started putting it on the paper, our vision. So so something like that, like Meghmani Organics crop protection division, which is agrochemical division, when it completed nearly 1,000 crore revenue, we had in mind that it took nearly 23 to 25 years time to reach 1,000 crore from a zero to 1,000 crore. So how do we make it 2,000 crore in just 3 years time? And that's what we did it. So that gives the confidence, So and from 2,000 crore, now we have a plan to how do we make it 4,000 crore in another 3-4 years time. So as I mentioned, it's a regulated product base, so we are all well traveled. We meet a lot of people. We understand the kind of the product which has got a good potential in the future. So we identify those products where we can have a good manufacturing capability. Let's say I can get fascinated with any product, but if we don't have capability to manufacture it, or the raw material availability point of view, it is not making sense, then it doesn't make sense to go ahead with this product. So identifying the product and the project is a very, very important area. And by a lot of discussion internally among the team members, we select the product and the project, then we take it up. And as I mentioned, the moment it comes to the mind till we commercialize it, it takes almost 4 to 5 years time. So all this development, as from 14 onward, I would say 2014 onwards, we started focusing on new products, and we started developing in our lab, taking small trials, generating data, doing the registration, putting into the plant, and that's what gave the confidence to us. So the moment we announced the 350 crore multi-purpose plant from the investors' point of view, so everyone was asking which are the product you are going to bring in. We kept it low profile. At that time, we did not announce the name of the product. We mentioned that the moment we will commercialize the plant, we will be informing to the investor. So now we inform very gladly that we are coming in a big way, big capacity, lambda-cyhalothrin, then spiromazepam, beta-cyflothrin, cyflothrin, flubendamide, flonicamide, ethipro. So various products. Now these products, you might have heard the name, but if you look at from the manufacturing point of view, you will find only one manufacturer in India or probably none of it. So a lot of companies, they get fascinated from different products. Like if you take I would say last 1 decade journey of agrochemical, if I understand, a lot of people when I meet, they talk about azoxystrobin. Then a lot of people talked about dicamba. A lot of people talk about sulfentrazone, or different product that we are coming with this product, Mencozeb. So we did not invest it into those products because chlorantraniliprole, again, recent example. Now, in this product, there was so much wide. The moment it got off patented, there were about 15 companies or 20 companies in line, which they were planning to go into manufacturing. So we knew that it's going to be very flooded, and ultimately the prices will come down, the margins will be under pressure, the market is not going to be growing to that extent. And that is what azoxystrobin, the same thing, from $100, the price came down to $30-$35. Dicamba, which many people talk today, dicamba, a lot of companies, they stopped manufacturing it. Chlorantraniliprole, which is the Rynaxypyr currently, now we know that apart from FMC, 15 other companies are going to manufacture. So we knew that. So we are not targeting those products. We go for something different. So, and whenever we select any product, we make sure we always have a manufacturing capability and a costing point of view. We have an edge at par with China or better than China, so that we can sell this product into different markets. At the same time, it has to be widely acceptable product. If it is just one country, one small crop, very small niche product, then it is difficult to run the plant for the whole year. At the same time, we need to make sure that whatever product we make, we are able to sell into different market at the same time. So that is like the
Yeah. So sir, as a promoter, usually क्या होता है कि मतलब as a business, we go through a lot of ups and downs, right? And we have seen a lot of downs with COVID, with sometimes with supply chain issues. sometimes with some factors which we can control or which we cannot control. So आपके लिए वो toughest phase क्या था business का journey का over the last say 12-13 years, और वो आपने कैसे overcome किया?
सो दिगम भाई, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि ये ऐसे फेज आने ही चाहिए बिजनेस में। अगर
Yes.
आप बुरे फेज नहीं देखते हैं तो आप इम्प्रूव नहीं कर पाते। आपको ऐसा लगता है आप सब कुछ सही कर रहे हैं, आप सब कुछ बढ़िया कर रहे हैं। सो नॉट ओनली इन माय करियर ऑफ 12-13 years बट एज अ कंपनीज करियर हम लोगों ने बहुत सारे अप्स एंड डाउन्स देखे हैं। जहाँ पे कोई एनवायरमेंट रिलेटेड इश्यूज आए हैं, कोई सेफ्टी रिलेटेड इश्यूज आए हैं, मार्केट रिलेटेड इश्यूज आए हैं, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट इश्यूज आए हैं। तो हम लोगों ने वो, जब एवरी टाइम कभी कोई इश्यू आता है, सो इट्स अ न्यू चैलेंज फॉर द
Yes.
फॉर द मैनेजमेंट। एंड दैट, the moment you improve upon that gives you the strength to grow to the next level. So
Yes.
we call it going from one level to the other level, वन ऑर्बिट टू द अदर ऑर्बिट। तो अगर आपको ये हमेशा अच्छा टाइम रहता है, हमेशा अच्छा प्रॉफिट रहता है, तो अभी आप कभी इंप्रूव नहीं कर पाएंगे। आपको ऐसा लगता है
Yes.
मैं बहुत बढ़िया कर रहा हूँ, यू गो
Yes.
इनटू द कंफर्ट जोन। तो
Yes.
हमें कभी कंफर्ट जोन में नहीं आना चाहिए, हमेशा चैलेंज आनी ही चाहिए।
Yes.
And that's what we like. We like challenges in the business, and we always improve upon. So, अगर मैं बात करूं, जब फर्स्ट जनरेशन में हमने प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड किया तो हमारे प्लांट उतने स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट नहीं थे, फ्रॉम द एनवायरमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, फ्रॉम द एस्थेटिक लुक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, फ्रॉम द सेफ्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। सो हम लोगों ने, ये ऐसी चीज है जिसके लिए इम्प्रूव करने में बहुत पैसे लगते हैं और बहुत टाइम भी लगता है। तो हम लोगों ने उसमें पैसे भी लगाए, टाइम भी लगाया, मेहनत भी की। तो आज हम लोग बोल सकते हैं हम लोगों ने बहुत बढ़िया एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट किया है। हम लोग सबको इनवाइट करते हैं कि आप आइए हमारा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट देखिए। बिकॉज हम लोग उसको एक मंदिर मानते हैं जहां से हमारा प्रोडक्ट निकलता है। सो इट्स वेरी, इट इज वंडरफुल प्लेस। तो आज हमारे प्लांट एक मल्टीनेशनल कैटेगरी के प्लांट के लेवल पे हम लोगों ने ला के रखे हैं। ये एक विजन माने कि हमें आगे जाने के लिए हमें एनवायरमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इंप्रूव करना है, सेफ्टी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इंप्रूव करना है, एस्थेटिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इंप्रूव करना है, सिस्टम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इंप्रूव करना है। तो ये सब हमने लर्निंग किया, इवॉल्व किया है। तो ये इट्स अ जर्नी। सो ये सारे अपग्रेडेशन हमने लास्ट 10 साल में किए, हमारे प्लांट को बहुत अपग्रेड किया। एंड आज जब भी हमारे कस्टमर विजिट करते हैं, पुराने कस्टमर, so they come and ask that what you have done. We are seeing completely different Meghmani, कि हम लोगों ने आज से 5 साल 10 साल पहले जो Meghmani देखी थी और आज जो देख रहे हैं, it is completely different, and that gives us the confidence to go to the next level. And तो जैसे हम आपको इन्वेस्टर्स को बताते हैं, सेम में हमारे कस्टमर्स को हम बताते हैं, यू कम एंड विजिट द प्लांट। सो जब आते हैं प्लांट देखते हैं, उनका एक कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल अलग हो जाता है। बाद में बिजनेस अपने आप हो जाता है। बाद में हमें ज्यादा बिजनेस के लिए मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती। तो हमें मेहनत उतनी करनी पड़ती है कि उनको प्लांट तक लेके आए। द मोमेंट एक बार वो प्लांट पे आते हैं, हमारी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्ट्रेंथ, कैपेबिलिटी देखते हैं, प्लांट देखते हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देखते हैं, तो उनका एक कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल अलग हो जाता है। एंड दैट्स गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू द बिजनेस। एंड
तो
आज, या प्लीज।
नहीं, सो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि हमने आपके मतलब आई कैन डेफिनेटली रेजोनेट विद यू, एंड वो मतलब आपका पैशन, आपका हार्ड वर्क और आपकी अचीवमेंट बिल्कुल दिख रही है, मतलब दैट इज कम्प्लीटली विजिबल। सो मतलब इसके साथ एक हम लोग जो मतलब एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जैसे बात करते हैं कि वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, मतलब ऑल्दो एंटरप्रेन्योर कभी भी मुझे नहीं लगता कभी एंटरप्रेन्योर ऑफ वर्क रह सकता है और रहना भी नहीं चाहिए, बट लेकिन आपके लिए वो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस क्या है, एंड हाउ डू यू मैनेज सच अ लार्ज शो एंड सो मच ऑफ जो 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 कंपनी कर रही है, सो मच ऑफ इनिशिएटिव्स दैट यू आर टेकिंग along with work life, yeah.
Yeah, so when you talk the work life balance, definitely it has to be there. तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें भी हमारी लाइफ में बैलेंस करना पड़ता है। बट टू बी प्रिसाइज, आई एम स्टिल वेरी यंग। सो आज एक पैशन एक है कि आज जो पेरेंट्स ने इतना बढ़िया प्लेटफॉर्म ला के दिया है, हम लोग क्या कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं। देयर इज सो मच अपॉर्चुनिटी अवेलेबल। So I like traveling a lot, and from the business point of view as well as from leisure point of view. And every time when we travel, we learn something new. When we meet different people, we know what is going on. So frankly speaking, लोग बोलते हैं कि चाइना उतना अच्छा नहीं है. I like China very well. मैं बिफोर कोविड में साल में 3 बार चाइना जाता था, क्योंकि हर बार जाते थे कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है. आप वहां के लोगों से मिले, उनका वर्क के प्रति डेडिकेशन देखें. हम लोग कंपेयर करते हैं कि अगर हमारे यहाँ 8 घंटे की शिफ्ट में कोई लेबर काम करेगा तो हम वी विल गेट आउटपुट ऑफ करीब 4.5 से 5 घंटे का. अगर चाइना में वही लेबर काम करेगा 8 घंटे का, यू विल गेट आउटपुट ऑफ 10 आवर्स. समथिंग लाइक दैट. वो जो डेडिकेशन है उनका, वो बहुत सॉलिड है. आज हमें एज ए इंडियंस हमें वहां पे बहुत इंप्रूव करने की जरूरत है. एंड सो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो डेफिनेटली फैमिली है, किड्स है, तो वीकेंड्स उनके साथ बिताते हैं. संडे we play sports, some hobbies and everything. So we do that. But Monday to Saturday, even Saturday is a full working day for us. I would say Saturday is a more productive day for us.
Yes, yes.
तो हम लोग उसके कुछ नया सोचते हैं.
Yes.
We do lot of interviews on Saturday. तो दूसरी कंपनियों में जब छुट्टी रहती है तो हम लोग वो टैलेंट को मिलने के लिए बुलाते हैं, हम लोग उनको मिलते हैं. So from the growth point of view, you need to have a very good team in your company, very good talent in your company. So we keep on meeting much better company than us and people from those companies, and we try to bring them along with us in our growth journey. And it is a continuous growth. So it's going to be a continuous growth journey. So I would say next 15 years till I'll become, let's say, nearly 55. So I'll be more passionate. Even after that, I'll be more passionate. But
And then a Saturday you'll have to spend with your kids also. You need to make time for that.
I'm sorry, Shrikandi.
You'll have to spend time with your kids also on Saturdays. So
yeah, Saturday evening till Sunday full day. Yeah, definitely we spend time with family, with kids, and no doubt about it. But definitely Saturday I say is a more productive day for us. We meet R&D people. We do discussion. We keep the R&D meeting on Saturdays. So the free mind रहता है तब you discuss about the new development, क्या कौन सा नया प्रोडक्ट करना है, मार्केट, ये वो पूरा डिस्कशन करते हैं.
सर नेक्स्ट लेग ऑफ सक्सेस जर्नी क्या है आपके लिए? मतलब व्हाट आर यू थिंकिंग? लाइक हम लोग ये मेरे ख्याल से इंटरव्यू में भी बात करते हैं कि हाउ डू यू लुक योरसेल्फ 5 years डाउन द लाइन, या व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट लेग ऑफ सक्सेस गोइंग टू बी फॉर मेक मनी?
So just wanted to share one good news that Fortune India magazine, normally they come up with the Fortune 500 and Fortune Next 500. So in the Fortune Next 500, Meghmani Organics Limited came as #1. So,
wow.
But in the March.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. So in the March issue of Fortune India magazine, you will find the ranking. The Meghmani Organics came #1, and our chairman, my uncle Jayanti Bhai, interview is also there in the same magazine. And
wow.
So our aspiration is to definitely be into Fortune 500 and among the top Indian chemical companies. And so next 15 years growth in the Meghmani is also going to be tremendous, no doubt about. From not just from the infrastructure, revenue, and profitability point of view, but also now we have started focusing from the investor point of view. We are very much undervalued right now, and we want to make sure that we keep ourselves very transparent. In the past, there may be 1 or 2 mistakes have taken place by the management, and in the public forum, our chairman appeared and he apologized that this was a mistake on the management side, and in future, no such mistake will happen. So we'll make sure we'll work towards the more value creation from the investors' point of view. So आज हम लोग कंपेयर करें कि हमारा जो टर्नओवर है, हमारा जो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है, उसके सामने जो हमारा पी मल्टीपल, हमारा शेयर प्राइस है, दैट इज nothing compared to the companies. We are very much undervalued. and that is what we are also going to correct it. So we are also focusing in that area, investor relationship. We are meeting a lot of people like you, and we are making them understand about the make money, about the business. At the same time, we want everyone to come and see the kind of the infrastructure what we have created, because seeing is believing. That gives more
Yes.
confidence. So
We
whenever you are free, please let us know. We can go to Dahej where we have manufacturing plants, and you will see the kind of the infrastructure what we have created.
No, we'll definitely do that very soon. So sir, मतलब अभी आजकल जैसे ये हो रहा है कि मतलब we are coming to know about China plus one. PLI has become a very big factor. हम लोग इंडिया की कंजम्पशन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं जहाँ पे our consumption is growing. So, like, what do you sense as the single biggest opportunity that is coming? जैसे हम underlying macro factors बहुत support कर रहे हैं हमारी ecosystem को, right? जहाँ पे मतलब China used to like export a very large share to the world. We are talking about taking some market share in terms of exports. PLI काफी बड़ा एक फैक्टर बन के निकल रहा है. मतलब lot of companies we interact with are benefiting from PLI as well. So मतलब आपके लिए वो कौन सा सिंगल बिगेस्ट कंट्रीब्यूटर आपको लग रहा है which will support the next leg of growth for Meghmani?
डेफिनेटली चाइना प्लस वन तो हर एक कस्टमर देख ही रहा है, नो डाउट अबाउट इट. तो वो थोड़ा एक एज देता है. बट व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ पीएलआई, वी पर से एज ऑफ नाउ हमारे कोई प्रोडक्ट में पीएलआई है नहीं. इनफैक्ट हम लोग कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिव के बेस पे सिलेक्ट नहीं करते हैं, बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट समथिंग सस्टेनेबल. आज गवर्नमेंट के सपोर्ट से आप प्रॉब्ली 2 4 5 साल आप कर पाएंगे काम, बट व्हाट अबाउट फॉर द नेक्स्ट 25 years, right?
Yes.
So PLI scheme can be a small platform given by the government to grow to the next level, but हम लोग कभी उसको बेस नहीं मानते हैं. हम लोग हमारे हिसाब से सिलेक्ट करते हैं. दैट इज वन थिंग. एंड फ्रॉम द ग्रोथ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, एज आई मेंशन, हम लोग पहले से ही एक्सपोर्ट ड्रिवन में रहे हैं. सो आपको एट पार रहना चाइना के. यू शुड नॉट बी बिलीविंग दैट गवर्नमेंट मेरे को ये सपोर्ट करे और मैं चाइना के एट पार हूं. हमें अपने आप को उतना केपेबल बनाना है दैट माय प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट is at par with China, so I can compete with China any day, any time in the global market. And उसी की वजह से आज हमारा आज भी almost 80% revenue export market से आता है, because we are always competing with China, we are at par with China, at the same time we generate reasonable profit. So ये सब कुछ balance करके चलना पड़ता है.
तो सर जैसे आप मतलब अपना बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन की बात कर रहे थे, आप कह रहे थे कि हम लोग मतलब we are less reliant on China in terms of raw material. So how much as a percentage of your inputs comes from China, and like are you planning to reduce that percentage, and आप मतलब आगे उसके लिए क्या steps ले रहे हैं?
So business completely domestic oriented है, कोई थोड़े बहुत imported होंगे but China पे dependent नहीं. When it comes to agrochemical business, about 20% raw material, about 18 to 20% raw material is coming from China. हम लोग ऑलरेडी बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन पे कोई कोई प्रोडक्ट पे काम कर रहे हैं, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोग 100% बैकवर्ड इंटीग्रेशन करें, क्योंकि कभी कभार हम लोग इवेल्युएट करते हैं इफ चाइना इज हैविंग इनफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटी, तभी आपका वो मतलब नहीं बनता है उसमें आप वो कैपेसिटी क्रिएट करें. अगर वो रॉ मटेरियल आपको सही दाम में चाइना से मिल रहा है, टाइमली मिल रहा है, अवेलेबिलिटी में कोई इश्यू नहीं है, देन इट इज नॉट मेकिंग सेंस इन स्पेंडिंग मनी. सो हम लोग वो बैलेंस करके चलते हैं.
So backward integration companies do for mainly two reasons from what we've understood. It's because maybe they want to improve their margins, EBITDA margin, operating margins, whatever. Or secondly, it could be that they want a resilient supply chain. Resilient supply chain meaning, dude, something happened in China, COVID, and they couldn't supply us. So our entire value chain was actually disturbed and we lost a lot of revenue or power cost, anything. It could be to build resiliency. But usually people think that all backward integration is positive, it's always good news. But what you realize, it's not the case, right? You will actually might support me on this, because if you already have a stable supplier who you could rely on even during the tough times, and in fact, dude, if I were to do a backward integration, it's going to reduce my margins rather than improve it. Then why would you go for backward integration? So from our point of view, not all backward integration is good news or is a positive.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. We are having the same philosophy that not all the backward integration is always good. So we need to select the product very rightfully. कि अगर हम लोग जब भी वो product develop करते हैं, we make sure there is an enough margin. So buy versus make. That decision is a very important. If there is a substantial gap into buy versus make, then definitely it makes sense. At the same time, इतना quantity में supply available नहीं है, और your supplier is not very sustainable. जैसे आपने चाइना में बताया कि कभी environment के problem आते हैं, कभी कोई और problem आता है. So we have one full-time employee in China who keeps on visiting different suppliers, getting the information वो क्या कर रहे हैं, किसकी क्या strength है. So हम लोग में काफी data bank हमने इतने सालों में इकट्ठा किया हुआ है, and we work with the right kind of supplier. Again, we don't work with opportunistic supplier कि आज ये सस्ता दे रहा है, आप इससे ले लो, बाद में देखा जाएगा. We are working on a long-term supply base where sustainable supply is available. तो वो प्रॉपर एक मैकेनिज्म बना हुआ है कि अगर सप्लाई इजीली अवेलेबल है एट राइट कॉस्ट प्राइस राइट प्राइस में अवेलेबल है, then it doesn't make sense in investing in that backward integration, because वो आपके लिए रेवेन्यू जनरेट नहीं करने वाला है, वो सिर्फ थोड़ा आपका प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी बढ़ाएगा. एंड इफ इट इज नॉट मेकिंग मच सेंस तो हमें उसको इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना. हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट का फिलॉसफी बहुत हमने इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन में भी रखा हुआ है. व्हेनेवर वी सिलेक्ट द प्रोजेक्ट, वी मेक श्योर that the IRR is more than 20%. Payback period is, it has to be in the range of less than 5 years time, something like that. वो different criteria हमने select किए हुए हैं, उसके बेस पे हम लोग प्रोजेक्ट सेलेक्ट
करते हैं. So, मतलब going forward, मतलब what margins are you targeting? Like obviously margins में there has been some dent offline of late. मतलब across the industry हर जगह ही हमने देखा है, and मतलब inflation has continued to be a challenge and as well as sourcing. तो मतलब आपको क्या लगता है कि मतलब what should be the margins going forward?
So, Divam ji, you rightly mentioned. In fact, COVID के जो 2 साल के period थे, those were the fantastic period where the industry made good money. Now we call it, this is the after COVID wave, where the correction is taking place. और जब जहाँ पे सब चीज के प्राइस करेक्ट हो रहे हैं, नीचे आ रहे हैं, डिमांड कोई एडजस्ट हो रही है, सब कुछ बैलेंस हो रहा है. So it's a matter of few months now. Again, it will be settled very soon. As far as the sustainable margin is concerned, in the agrochemical industry, on an average, it generates about 15 to 17% EBITDA margin. We as a Meghmani, we always try to be above industry average. And you can see the numbers, we have always tried to be above the industry average, barring 1 or 2 quarters. So, and our aim is always to be above the industry average. हम लोग benchmark करते हैं, PI is in the EBITDA margin of 22-23%. Again, UPL is in the EBITDA margin of 21 to 23%. So definitely we also aspire to be somewhere in that range. तो आज हम लोग ये जो नए product लेके आ रहे हैं, these are very high value products, low volume and high margin. So definitely ये जो product mix बनेगा, it will be having the relatively high margin compared to the current product mix. So on an average, overall EBITDA margin should lift up. So we are somewhere in the range of about 18-19% के range में हम लोग रहते हैं. तो we believe that we should be in the range of 20% plus. That is what our target for the agrochemical business. Now, when it comes to the pigment business on an average, it generates about 12 to 13% EBITDA margin. last 1 year, 1.5 years is being very bad for the pigment industry, where the margins are under a lot of pressure. So we knew that there was an overcapacity for the pigment green, pigment blue. There are unconventional players. So how to compete against them? We being one of the big corporate, our overheads are little high. How do we compete against them? So we are coming with the titanium dioxide, which is the high capex, high entry barrier oriented product. So no small pigment manufacturer can enter with such a high investment. At the same time, technology is also a concern. सो ये दो पैरामीटर को ध्यान में रख के हमने टिटेनियम डाइऑक्साइड प्रोजेक्ट सेलेक्ट किया जिसमें प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी कंपेयर टू सेलोसाइनाइड पिगमेंट ज्यादा है सो again on an average we feel that pigment business should generate somewhere profitability in the range of about 14 to 15% along with the titanium dioxide.
Chahalji, so this look, people talk a lot about INR depreciation, how your rupee is now 82, 83, and how has this impacted your business? I was just going through your income statement, and there is a good impact in terms of different line items. So can you explain to a layman person how this currency fluctuation actually impacts a business? People think that it only affects my IT industry because they are prone to a lot of USD revenue. But how does impact a very manufacturing company and agrochemical company? How is it impacting?
So again, it impacts a lot to us. Again, हमारा जो revenue 80% revenue exports है, export में majority dollars आता है. So जैसे there has been a history that Indian rupee on an average, अगर आप पूरे 15-20 साल का एवरेज निकाले तो on an average करीब 2.5 से 3% डेप्रिशिएट होता है एनुअली. हर साल नहीं होता है बट एवरेज एक मानेंगे तो इतना होता है. तो एक्सपोर्ट में डेप्रिसिएशन जब भी इंडियन रुपी का होता है इट डेफिनेटली इट हेल्प्स. इट डज नॉट हेल्प कंट्री बट इट हेल्प्स द कंपनी. सो हमारे लिए वो बेनिफिशियल है. तो आप देखेंगे तो वी जनरेट गुड अदर इनकम विच इज फॉरेन एक्सचेंज गेन हमारे में अच्छा खासा आता है. दैट इज द बेनिफिट टू अस. एंड वी हैव अ वेरी स्टेबल फॉरेन एक्सचेंज पॉलिसी. We don't speculate. We are in the business of manufacturing chemical and selling it. So काफी टाइम क्या होता है कि जब भी ये वॉलेटिलिटी रहती है आपका माइंड एक स्पेकुलेशन में लग जाता है. यार डॉलर ये मेरे को मिला मैं ब्लॉक कर देता हूँ, मैं ये कर देता हूँ. द मोमेंट यू एंटर इनटू स्पेकुलेशन वो आप कहीं ना कहीं गैम्बलिंग करते हैं. सो वी हैव अ वेरी स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी विच वी हैव डिफाइंड. तो हमारी जो फाइनेंस टीम है, फॉरेक्स टीम है, वो पॉलिसी के हिसाब से ही वो लोग करते हैं. हमारा जो नेट एक्सपोजर है वो नेट एक्सपोजर का 50% हम लोग बुक करते हैं, 50% हम लोग ओपन रखते हैं. वेरी सिंपल. तो वो पॉलिसी आई थिंक पिछले 5 साल से हम लोग फॉलो कर रहे हैं. लास्ट 5 years वी हैड वन फॉरेन एक्सचेंज कंसल्टेंट एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ दैट कंसल्टेंट हमने ये पॉलिसी डिफाइन की. बहुत बढ़िया. एंड कोई कॉम्प्लिकेटेड डेरिवेटिव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में हम लोग एंटर नहीं करते हैं कि जहां पे आपका कोई लॉस हो, कोई स्पेकुलेशन हो. हम लोग कभी भी कोई भी एंटरटेन नहीं करता. वेरी स्टैंडर्ड. आज $80 है या 85 है, कोई स्पेकुलेशन नहीं करना है. स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी के हिसाब से जो बनता है वही काम करना है. सो कोई भी मैनेजमेंट इंटरवेन उसमें नहीं करता है. वो सिर्फ फाइनेंस की टीम उनकी जो पॉलिसी बनी हुई है वही फॉलो करके वो काम.
We have actually come across companies when we study that speculates in the currency markets for not extreme speculation using futures and derivatives and things, but they don't convert the USD even after 1 year.
Oh.
And that we find is a big red flag. Yes, Devam?
Yes.
And yes. And sir, you said about, look, that's on your revenue side. What if I'm borrowing dollars or borrowing in euros? How will that affect me as a business?
तो अगेन आज हमारा जो अगर एवरेज बोरोइंग देखेंगे फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में वो हमारा एवरेज कॉस्ट करीब 2-2.5% का है. राइट. सो एज आई मेंशन जो ऑन एन एवरेज इंडियन रुपी डेप्रिशिएट होता है वो करीब 2.5 से 3% होता है. सो दोनों को आप जोड़ते हैं इंटरेस्ट रेट प्लस डेप्रिशिएशन रेट तभी भी यू विल बी बिलो 6% which is better rate than the Indian INR borrowing. और हम लोग इसलिए ये करते हैं क्योंकि हमारा फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में रेवेन्यू है, हम लोग बिजनेस मॉडल के हिसाब से लोन पिकअप करते हैं। अगर आज एग्रो केमिकल में 350 करोड़ का केपेक्स किया तो हमने फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में लोन उठाया, बिकॉज वहां पे हमारा रेवेन्यू फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में आ रहा है। वही चीज आज हम लोग टिटेनियम डाइऑक्साइड में हमने प्रोजेक्ट के लिए हमने डेट उठाया, तो हमने आईएनआर में उठाया। व्हाई? बिकॉज माय रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम द टिटेनियम डाइऑक्साइड इज गोइंग टू बी इन द इंडियन रुपीज। तो अगेन जैसे मैंने बोला, हम लोग कोई स्पेकुलेशन में नहीं जाते हैं, वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, जो स्टैंडर्ड है वही हिसाब से काम करते हैं, कोई स्पेकुलेट। एंड अगेन जो आपने बोला कि हमारी 25-30 साल की जर्नी में हमने भी कभी स्पेकुलेट किया है, तो वहां पे वी ऑल्सो बर्न अवर फिंगर। तो वो जो लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस था, वो लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस से हम लोगों ने ये पॉलिसी बनाई। एंड लास्ट 5 years वी आर वेरी हैप्पी विद इट। तो ये पॉलिसी अभी परमानेंट रहने वाली है, कोई इसमें चेंज नहीं करने वाला है।
हमारे केस में एक्चुअली ये नेचुरल हेज है, क्योंकि जैसे 80% एक्सपोर्ट से आ रहा है, तो एक तो हमारे इंपोर्ट जैसे 25% तक का इंपोर्ट फॉरेन करेंसी में है। एंड सेकेंडली इसमें क्या है कि हमारा लॉन्ग टर्म एंड शॉर्ट टर्म दोनों ही हमारा फॉरेन करेंसी में है। और जो लॉन्ग टर्म के हमने जितने भी टर्म लोन पहले लिए हुए हैं, वो हमारे फिक्स रेट पे किए हुए हमने 5 year 6 year के लिए, दैट इज फिक्स रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, तो विच इज अराउंड 2%। तो हमने ऑलरेडी वो फ्रीज्ड है, so there is no impact of this increase overnight SOFR का जो भी increase हुआ है, तो for those loans there is no impact। तो only recent variables वहां पे impact है, वो भी हमने partially fix किया हुआ है 3% पे, and partially हमने ऊपर रखा हुआ है। तो we have a little impact of this increase जो कि अभी overnight SOFR में हो रहा है foreign currency में।
Charlie, so I was looking at your profile, and you started in 1990s around as a finance professional, and you were working in Jamna Auto, then you moved to Tata Chemicals, and these are two different industries, right? So how was the switch, and was it a difficult switch? Meaning the products you're selling, the hedging, everything is different. So how was your experience between the switch?
Actually, even before that, actually, I qualified in 92. So I started with Onida in electronics industry. Then I joined India rubber industry, then Jamna Auto, and in 2002 from Tata Chemicals. And then I looked after chemical division as well as fertilizer division in Tata Chemical, and 1 year spent with the Gujarat Industries Power Company in power generation. So during this journey, so experience has been made in starting from the audit, then accounts, then corporate finance, then merger and acquisition, then investor relationship. And now currently the challenge remains with the increased compliance requirements. And where the business is, you have to support with the technology. So those are when here from the last 5 years, if you see, and the business is growing. So as Ankit has stated, so we have from 1,000 to 2,000 and aspiring to double from here onwards in the next 3-4 years time. So when you grow the business, so you have to have very strong base. Your system processes, your controls has to be strengthened accordingly. So this is our focus area now. So we are supporting the business, we are digitization our processes, and industries, and challenge more or less remains same in all that.
सर अंकित जी, सो बेसिकली मतलब फॉर आवर इन्वेस्टर्स मतलब एक क्लोजिंग कमेंट क्या होगा कि मतलब सी obviously they have seen a lot of wealth creation in the past. Last few months or last few quarters have been mostly because of macro factors, and पूरा market ही broader market ही impact रहा है. And we all know that there is undervaluation in the stock, and there are a lot of new things that you are coming up with, like this urea IFCO ke saath, and then a lot of initiatives you are coming up with. So what are your closing comments for our investors that you would want to summarize this overall conversation with?
So I would say stay invested in Meghmani, and we assure you that you will get very good returns in coming days' time. We are very much undervalued, so definitely as we will grow our revenue, profit, infrastructure, same way our share price will also reflect in the similar line. And we are taking all the right actions from the investor relation point of view, where we bringing a lot of transparency for the investors and they understand the company and invest. सो कहीं ना कहीं सबका इंटरेस्ट बना रहे कंपनी में, वो हम लोग कंटिन्यूस कोशिश कर रहे हैं. And definitely the kind of the efforts what we are doing, I am very much sure that investors will have a good interest in making money and they will get very good return from the company. And as we demerged Make Money Findcam from Make Money Organics, and there was a good value unlocking which took place. So we currently have many more verticals. We have pigment, agrochemical, crop nutrition. So you never know, as every now and then, if this division will become self-sustainable, reasonably big in size, then we will again demerge and do the value unlocking from the investor's point of view. So I'm sure all the investors they will make good money out of Make Money, and so I request everyone invest in Make Money and stay invested. Thank you.
एंड सर सबसे बड़ी बात हमारा इंडिया का जो डिमोग्राफिक है यंगस्टर्स एंड यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स वी रियली लव यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स सो like talking to you we really get that vibe that definitely it's a matter of time that your hard work will come into the valuations and we wish you the best for that and we always also as a disclaimer as well we and our investors are very much invested in your company and we are very much positive about the company's future prospects and the value creation that is going to happen. Shriram, anything from your side?
I just want to add because if you see on our financials and balance sheet also, so first major capex we have done in 2021 in MOI. So after that, now every year you are seeing so there is capex going on, and every project is getting completed, and that is going to add revenue in the next year. So we are having our hands full in the next 3-4 years. So every year you will be seeing the new vertical added, new capex is going on. So growth journey is fantastic. So I will say it is just taken off. So this is simply we have started the journey. So long way to go.
So look, you started in 1986 and now it is 2023. So you're still doing well. You are doing business. And that itself says something. There's a legacy behind the company. And that's because of constant innovation, constant capex, growth. You can do $1 billion capex, but if there's no demand, there's no point. But you guys, the team, have done capex very diligent manner, meaning you're doing phase projects. You're not committing, okay, 600, 800 crores, I'm going to go in, we'll see what happens. That attitude is not there. So we are confident on the growth. And look, we tell in the markets, we speak amongst ourselves also, if your business is growing, your stock prices ought to reflect the performance. If your business is deteriorating and your stock price is getting elevated, it's bound to go down.
Yes.
So, and if you're not willing to stand the downside, you're not eligible to see the upside. Whether it's a business, like you earlier mentioned the question, Ankit Ji, that business will have ups and downs, and so is the market, ups and downs. So it's a game of cycles at the end of the day. Yes.
क्राइसिस से मौके निकालना वो आई थिंक दैट वाज द बिगेस्ट लर्निंग फ्रॉम मी दैट वेरेवर यू हैव अ क्राइसिस यू हैव टू टेक आउट अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड वो आपको नेक्स्ट लीप लेने में हेल्प करता है एंड दैट इज द स्टोरी राइट मतलब क्राइसिस तो आएंगे यू शुड नेवर वेस्ट अ क्राइसिस मतलब हम इन्वेस्टिंग में भी ये बात बोलते हैं तो वो हमें फर्दर हमें एक लीप लेने में हेल्प करता है हमें फर्दर मोटिवेट करता है कि हम इसको ओवरकम करें. So I think that was the biggest learning from this conversation, and we wish you a very best for taking this company forward, and we are a part of the journey, and we'd love to be continue to be a part of the journey. Thank you so much, Ankit ji. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, Sriram. And once again, I request you to come and visit our manufacturing infrastructure, manufacturing plants, so that you will have more idea. and you can share the same thing to down the line to your investors.
Definitely. It'll happen definitely very soon. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this precious time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.